Hey, it's Numeric here. Hopefully you like this build. This is the Magicka Nightblade Healer, and let's get into it. Our max Magicka is 37,000. This is unbuffed. Our max health is 27,000, 27.5. Our Magicka recovery is 2,000. Our Mundus Stone is the Magicka recovery one, just to give us a little boost to recovery. Our food is the Solitude Salmon Millet Soup. It is just a chunk of health and a chunk of magicka. If you have problem with sustain, you can switch over to the Witch Mother's Potent Brew, but I don't think you'll have any problem with sustain on this build. Our race is a Breton. It just helps out a ton. A whole bunch. Because you take you get a little bit of recovery, a little bit of max magicka, and then you get 7% reduced cost, which is just super good. Our items we're running is Symphony of Blades. I don't have the right traits because I just switched over from Xbox, so I've just been grinding and getting stuff. But our monster says Symphony of Blades is what we normally run. Because it seems like when we're doing randoms, there's a whole bunch of people who are newer and run out of magicka and stuff, so it's good to help them with sustain. Then Holofang, it's just super good. It helps with magicka and also increases the amount of healing they receive. Between this and one of our abilities, you're cranking out 16% more healing plus your passives, so at the least you're cranking out 19% more healing with these two sets. Spell Power Cure, you're literally overhealing everyone constantly, so you're just giving everybody a ton of weapon and spell damage extra, and this gives you chunks of magicka on your character as well. Some of the other sets you can run I'll put on the screen, but Magma Incarnate is really good. Olorimaze is really good. Night Flame is really good. And Twilight Remedy is really good. Those sets all have a time to use. There's other sets also, but those are the ones I always switch between. In our skills on our front bar, we have Healing Offering. This is the oh crap, I've missed a heal, or we just took a big hit, so I need to start throwing out some massive heals on top of our hots. So this heal, you throw it out constantly every 8 seconds. You need to keep it up. That way you get minor mending at all times. But if someone gets really injured or it's right after a big AoE from a boss or something, you can throw this heal out and it just gives a chunk of health. It's lightly drains your health, but with all your heal over times, this is no problem. The next thing is radiating regeneration. This is almost 2k per second heal over time. It lasts for 10 seconds and it's either you or 3 nearby allies, so it's super amazing. Combat Prayer, you need to keep this up at all times. And you can also use this as a spammable if you are behind your DPS and there's just like a big damage phase going on where everyone's taking all kinds of damage. This will increase their resistance, give them a big chunky heal, and it also increases their damage done. That's why you need to keep this up at all times. 5% doesn't sound like a lot for new players, but if you played this game long enough, you understand 5% is very useful. Illustrious Healing. This is just another heal over time, almost 2k with this build, unbuffed. It lasts for 9 seconds. Funnel Health, this is a way to increase DPS and throw out another heal over time. You at least need to cast this every 10 seconds just to give your teammates a little extra healing, but you can use this as a spammable to help out with damage. Our next thing, which makes this build so much fun, is Bolstering Darkness. This gives a 10% damage reduction for the duration of the ability. So if you cast this on your group, 15 seconds, they get 10% less damage, which is huge. And anytime an enemy walks through it, they get slowed by 70%, which is okay. It's not that big, but that can be useful. But the big thing is they can synergize this for like a 7k heal per second. And 70% movement speed, and that's over 4 seconds. So 70% movement speed is pretty crazy if you've never got to experience that. On the back bar, we run Blockade of Storms, preferably with a charged weapon. That way you can get off balance to proc as frequently as possible. That just increases your damage and resources back from heavy attacks on the enemy. Refreshing Path. This is gives Major Expedition, which is 30% movement speed, which is nice, for 4 seconds after they leave the path, and it heals for over 2100 every second that's in the path, and it lasts for 12 seconds. This is a super good heal, in my opinion. Movement speed's always beneficial, but that heal is a pretty chunky heal over time. Energy Orb is an orb you can throw, and it gives a decent heal, but it also has a synergy that gives a big chunky heal, and then a good chunk of resources back also. This is a flex spot. We run Mass Hysteria because a lot of times we're doing stuff where there's massive ad pools and the DPS are just scattered, so you can use this to stun them all. You fear them technically, but they can't. The enemies won't attack for 4 seconds, and it targets up to 6 enemies, so you can really reduce damage here. If you don't need that, you can run Ellie Drain if your team seems like they're running out of magicka. This is super nice because every time they light attack, they'll get some magicka back. Or you can run, let's see, Purge if you need to, if your team's taking a ton of damage, or Blood Altar, or any of the morphs for it. I just haven't used it much. Siphoning Attacks is our last ability on this bar before our ultimate, and it just gives a heal every time you light or heavy attack and magicka back. But then at the end of the ability, when the timer runs out, you'll get a chunk of magicka back. And you can use this before the timer runs out to get magicka back if you get low. Warhorn. This is just unreal. We will get the passive, or the more aggressive Warhorn, I believe. But this just increases your team's magicka and stamina by 10%, which just helps with damage. We have all of our class passives. Then on the Destruction Staff, the one you really need is Elemental Force, but some of these other ones are pretty decent. You can look through and judge for yourself. I don't have Restoration Staff maxed out yet, even on this character, but you want to max out all of your passives for Restoration Staff, Light Armor, Heavy Armor. Most of these abilities are really good to help with damage mitigation. And if your alchemy's up, you need to get medicinal use. That is super helpful for keeping your potions up. And Breton skill line, I have all of the passives in it just because they're all super good. You get max magicka, spell resistance, and magicka recovery, and reduced cost, which is amazing. If you have any questions, comments on this build, you can reach out to us on Discord or website, or even in the comments down below. If this video was helpful, drop a like, subscribe, let me know what you think. And if you have any other questions, I have a written guide on our website I'm working on it. Actually, I'm almost done with it before even making this video, so you can check it out. All those links will be down in the description. And I hope this build gives you as much pleasure as it has me getting to build it, play with it, mess with it, tweak it. This is a super fun build in my opinion. But anyways, I appreciate you hanging out, and we'll catch you in the next one.